Morning, everyone. It's a good day to be learning something new. So, I will be talking about stay home to be creative. So, let me share my presentation. Yes. So, before I start, if I ask you a question, are you creative? So, some of you would say yes, and some of you would say no, that is not my thing. But before I start talking about it, I just want to remind you that you're all creative, right? You're all creative in your own individual ways, just in different ways, but you're equally creative to each other. Again, what is creativity means to you? So when do you think you are being creative? So keep this question rolling into your mind while listening to this session. So we will find out when do you think you are being creative. So when I started to talk about this, like when I started to think about this, the question that came to my mind is, why do we stay home to be creative? I think that would be the question for all of you here today. So the first thing is home sweet home. Yes, simple as that. So, well, when you think of your home, it's a place for you to be less stressful. At least for most of us, it's a place to be less stressful. So, why? Because that is our most comfortable zone. Like we have the most comfortable people around us, that is our family. So, you can be what you want to be when you stay at home. So your mother or your father or your sibling, they won't be judging you even if you stay upside down in a chair, right? So when you're relaxed in an environment like that, you give your mind a little more time to think. So that is where you begin to practice imagination. So imagination is seeing what's not there, where creativity comes in as seeing what's not there and also seeing which is new and valuable. So for example, if I take my story, so I do graphic designing. So when I have so many things going on in my head, like I have so many things to, think about. So I find it very difficult to come up with an idea to put up a design. So when you see designing, it's something, it's visualizing something that nobody has seen before. Maybe it's something you have seen before, but you want to give it in a way, in an individual way that nobody has seen before, right? So it's very much important that you have your mind relaxed to be more creative. So you might think yourself that I'm not an artist, I don't need to be creative, like I don't need creativity. Well, you're wrong. You need creativity in your day-to-day life, right? And the next thing is, you are in your private space. I'm sure that everyone have our own spot in our house, right? So you have that place where you sit or lie down when you're happy or when you're sad or when you're confused. Well, that's the place. That's the exact place for you to be creative. Because you can be a superhero from that place or you can be a super villain from that place. For example, some people will have a chair near a window to sit and have a cup of tea, or corner in the living room to sit and enjoy your own world. So that's the place where you unleash your imagination. So that's the place where you can go beyond what you see to create something new. Not like other days, like we are in some days, like we're not in a rush, we are in a comfortable space to think. So that is the key here. And the other thing is, you work alone. So what is it? Another best thing about being home is that you work alone when you're at home. So you set limitations for your skills and abilities. That means like you have to figure out stuff on your own. So when you set limitations, you tend to think outside the box. So for example, you might have a friend who is good at tech, and you might not have that person when you're at home, and you might not be able to get his help. So you will be trying to figure out things on your own. In a way, not to use the same method that your friend would have been used. You might find something that is new. And also in other ways, I would say it's also thinking inside the box by setting boundaries and making maximum effort to use what you have that you have never been using. So that is another thing that will happen when you stay at home. So I just want to share a beautiful quote by Albert Einstein saying that monotony and the solitude of a quiet life stimulates the creative mind. So when you work alone, it stimulates your creative mind and make you more productive and effective. So that means, like as I said before, you work alone and you have to figure out everything on your own. That means your creativity comes out, right? So it is believed that a larger group of people are far less productive than every individual working alone and coming together with their own ideas and then collaborate. Right. So now let us look at few ideas to boost your creative mind. So first thing is change up your surroundings. So basically, it has to do with the setup that you have in your home or in your room. So, for example, some people may not be comfortable working on a table in their room. They might find sitting on the bed with their laptop would work. Or try switching out some items on your desk, maybe use a different colors, because people have different emotion towards different colors. So set up your place with the color you like, or maybe set up an outdoor space where you can sit with nature. Because in the end, you will find out that certain place would be more comfortable for you, that you forget yourself and be creative. And the other thing is keep a notebook and a pen, right? So ideas are born anywhere, anytime. But are you ready to keep them noted? So we all know that we might have talked about an idea long time back, but we don't remember it afterwards. So then at some point, it comes to your mind back again, right? This actually happens to myself and my friend. Like we talk a lot about ideas, like a lot of different other stuff. But when we go back home, we forget everything. Then we come back on another day, and I could just, have that thought that we have already talked about this idea. Then we come back on another day, we talk about the same idea like it's new. So it's important for you to note it, write down when the idea pops up in your head, because this will keep you a track of all the small things that you thought of over time. Because it is very important to look back on the ideas you have come up with to create something new. And the other thing is read a book. So this one, I think everyone knows it. There's a quote that says, reading gives us some place to go where you have to stay where you are. So that is the exact situation that we have right now. So we are supposed to be staying at home and we have to go somewhere else. So the reading helps you a lot. So reading makes you focus more without distractions. So from my experience, when I read a story or when I read any other books, so I try to picture the image, like I try to, go into that story, or the story might be a novel. So I kind of like create a pictures of my own with my imagination. So more focus will act as a tool for a mind to think creatively. Then it is also an escape from the world where you are in. I've seen a lot of people, I think, before they start on something big, to relieve their stress and to get rid of negativity, they read books, right? And they start fresh. So develop your reading habit. It gives you knowledge as well as one of the best ways to keep yourself focused and get more ideas. And the other thing is listen to music. I think this one is also like you have all experienced, like the magic is experienced by most of you. So it is believed that music has a positive impact on our human brain. So listening to music can make you happier, healthier, and more productive and more creative. So how many of you have created a picture or a visual of your song, of your favorite song that you're listening to? Like you dancing to it, or like you singing it, or somebody else in that picture. So people who listen to music when they work on something come up with more innovative ideas to finish their work and more quickly. So, and the fact that it takes you to a calm and peaceful nature. So just think about who would want to leave a shopping center where when your favorite song is going on. So you can find out what music makes you focus more and makes you happier. And the other thing is uh, start on a personal project. So this one I would like to add with music. So now we all see like social media is like full of challenges and like black and white challenge and put your old photo challenge. So those are coming up. So why don't you go ahead and start something on your own, like a project, like let's say a home gardening project, or writing that poems, like making music, or did you try make your favorite dish, or did you try writing that story that has been in your mind for a while? Because working on something that you like will surround yourself with great energy. So when great energy comes, you get peace, and peace brings creativity. Like I said before, like when you're calm and when you're comfortable and relaxed, you give your mind to think more efficiently. So you practice your imagination, and you bring something creative. And the other thing is brainstorm. So we all know, like, if you're working, you would have gone to a lot of brainstorming meetings. So the brainstorming is a technique which is used in problem solving and also to stimulate creative thinking. So it also has a positive impact on our brain, as it forces you to think and come up with ideas. So let us see, like, if you have an experience of being in a brainstorming meeting with um, with your office. So what they actually do, they want you to solve a program as a group or as an individual, and they want you to come up with an innovative idea. So that is where it's born. So I think when I do brainstorming, my advice is to have people individually think about something, think about a problem solving solution. Because as I said before, rather than being in a large group and thinking about something at the same time, you go individually and you think on your own, and you bring your own individual creativity to the team. So but we are doing brainstorm to ideas more creative. Like, are you doing brainstorming with your ideas, like with yourself first? So if you're having difficulties in get that creativity out of you and not practicing brainstorming, well, this is the right time for you to do it, because this is the right time because you're staying home and you want to be creative. So I think it's very much important for you to sit and brainstorm the ideas. As I said, you noted down the ideas. So then you brainstorm so that you will be coming up with creative and innovative solutions. So I think that's basically it, what I wanted to. So before, when I start, if you thought about, like, I'm going to say what is considered as being creative, or like what is considered as this is what you should do when you're home and being creative. So, well, that's not it, because as I said before, individual creativity differs to everyone. So it's very much different. Maybe something seems like very creative thing for me to do, but it may not seem like a creative thing for my friend. So it is on an individuals to think like what is more creative. I just want to wrap up this session with a famous quote from Nikola Tesla. So he says, "Be alone, that is the secret of invention, and be alone, that is when ideas are born." So as we all know, like, we are in a social distancing situation this time. So we are staying home and we are working, and we don't have time to hang out, and we can't hang out. So I think this is the right time for you to give birth to your ideas. So this, I think, I personally believe a lot in this quote, because whenever I do something, I used to sit alone, calm my mind for a while, and then think about ideas, think about the innovative solutions that I can come up with. So again, when I do designs, so it is most important for you to stay alone, that you bring your imagination and you bring your creativity out to sketch an idea. So otherwise, it's not very much possible, because everyone has their own creative mind and everyone has their own imagination. So if you try to put together in one picture, like if you try to put together in your creativity or in your idea, it'll mess up the things. So it is very important for you to sit alone. So I would say, like, when was the last time that we actually sat with ourselves and thought about ideas or thought about things that we should do, or actually spend time with ourselves? So that is very important. Once in a while in our lives, we should be able to take a walk on the beach and just think about stuff that is really valuable to me, or think about stuff that I really believe in. And this is a situation that forces us to do those things. This is a situation where we can stay alone. We can stay at our own home. We can stay in a place that is most comfortable to me, and I can think about my ideas and my imagination. I can practice my imagination. So I think that's it I wanted to share with you all. So be alone, spend some time with yourself, and you should be coming up with more creative ideas. And exactly as I said when I started the session, you are all creative. You are all creative, but in different ways. You have your individual creativity, but in different ways. So think about it and try to start something new. Thank you very much, IVAP, for having me, and thank you very much for all of you for joining me in this session. Thank you.